What is up, everybody? It's showtime. That's what StreamYard tells me when it's time to start talking and all that good stuff. So here we are. It's Monday night. You know what that means. We'll be talking about all kinds of the photogenic figures. Here's the problem. I only found four that went up for pre-order in the last week. So hopefully you guys went out and found a few more than that. Cause yeah, I was having trouble. But as always, on Monday, here is the question for those catching the replay. What figures popped up and went up on pre order in the last week that you think you're going to have a whole lot of fun taking photos of? That's it. Now, on the agenda tonight, we are going to start talking a little bit when it comes to Transformers. I'm going to talk about the photogenic figures themselves. We're going to talk a little bit about sort of the others. And then I'm going to jump over to Toy Arc and we're going to check out some of the more recent announcements. I know McFarlane has been teasing stuff like mad. I figure for New York Comic Con, things are going to start getting crazy. Things are going to start ramping up. It feels like for the last month or so, at least things as far as companies in the States have been pretty dead. But SHF and Amazing Yamaguchi, those kinds of companies, whew, they've been covering a lot for it. So, let's get cracking here, shall we? First, I want to go to one of these folders that I had prepared-ish. That's, you know me, that's how we go. That's how we do the things. All right, I'm going to start with other here. And open. And these are the figures that kind of deserve a bit of a mention, but maybe perhaps aren't quite what I would consider photogenic. Now, you might look at them and say, what's wrong with you? These things are amazing. But I have my reasons, as many of you who've been watching for a while probably know. Now, Tragic, what's up, man? Thank you for stopping by. It's been one of those days, but it's Monday. You expect one of those days to happen on Monday, but things aren't so bad. Things are going well. Hope everything's going well for you and the rest of the chat. Now we have Super 7's Conan the Barbarian, kind of a bloody version for BBTS's 25th anniversary. Now, if you've been watching for a bit, you know my complaints with Super 7. It mainly has to do with articulation, the lack of much at the waist. There's usually not much articulation at the elbows or knees. So that's why I tend not to throw them in the photogenic figure category. But I am starting to pay a little more attention to them ever since they announced the 2003 Turtles. We're going to have double jointed elbows and double jointed knees. I'm thinking that those are going to go over very well, and that all the licenses Super 7 has right now, they're just going to totally redo them with double jointed elbows and knees. That's my gut. That's where the old business hat is going. Specifically Thundercats. I think that's going to happen. So that's of course contingent on the 2003 Turtles doing well for that reason. But this does look good. Like we've got a serious spiky helmet going on here, a little bit of blood going on. And yeah, comes with plenty of stuff. That's one thing that I gotta give Super 7 every time. They come with a lot of accessories. Ooh, and then we're gonna hop into Evil-Lyn on the Masterverse side. But before we do, let's see what's going on with everybody else. Tragic. Yeah, it's been a day. Hope the rest of the week goes well for you. It'll go well. I mean, today wasn't awful or anything. It was just one of those days where you felt rushed all day, you know? But that's not so bad. But yeah, one of those. Hope the rest of the week goes well for you too, sir. Yo, Dave Tragic, LBZ, what's going on, man? Thank you very much for stopping by. We're going to get into all kinds of crazy stuff here. We're basically just going to make trouble all night. Okay, that's probably not true, but I'd be good with it. Great War Gallery. Happy Monday, all. How's it going, Dave? It is going well, sir. Thank you very much for stopping by. It's massively appreciated when I have everybody just hanging out in the chat. It's a blast. Skew Raider, what's going on, man? Cheers, sir. Saying hi to the people. It's always good. All right. So we've got Evil-Lyn here now going on. Now, here's a question that I asked a ways back and nobody answered. So if people don't know, cool beans. But I always thought it was cool that she had like the yellow skin tone, like the really deep yellow skin tone. And then it's like they just absolutely removed it for Revelation and Revolution and all that. Does anybody know, was that just a design choice or was there like an in-universe reason for that to happen? I mean, she looks cool. It's just I like the uniqueness of the yellow over your basic just white girl coloring, I guess, you know? But she still looks very cool. I'll give that to her. The reason that I wouldn't consider her photogenic necessarily is because she likely doesn't have anything going on at the waist. And so when you twist her at the diaphragm joint, she breaks up the sculpt. So yeah, you can see, well, let's see, you don't see it so well there. Well, no, see, that's one thing about a good photographer. They hide such things. So see there, you can't really see that she's breaking up the sculpt. But because she's likely just got the diaphragm cut right down in here, when she twists in her upper torso, you're going to totally lose the shape here because it's just going to go totally away from that. That's one of the things that bugs me. She also doesn't have an extra head. So if I were going on the old scale, she would get a 5 out of 7. And I prefer to go with 6 or more for the photogenic figure thing. So if you're new to the chat, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about photogenic figures. I'm not saying she doesn't look cool. She looks great. But I do prefer that yellow skin. And now we've got Flying Fist HeMan, who this one I don't know. It's kind of tough because I look at him and he looks cool, but at the same time, it's really weird how hard it seems to be for Mattel to nail like a He-Man face sculpt. But he looks great. Like he's got all kinds of paint on him. One complaint I don't have for Masterverse are the double jointed limbs and all that good stuff. They do a great job with that. If they had, they're kind of like the same as Marvel Legends. If they had the ball peg waist, I'd be super stoked. But I have to say, I do think overall Masterverse tends to look better than Marvel Legends. And they do, oftentimes, I was going to say they do usually come with more of the Marvel Legends, but I don't think that's true. I think that their Marvel Legends has kind of stepped up the accessory game. So that's probably a little closer. And then here he is with the big twist. Now, something else to keep in mind with this He-Man, even though I don't necessarily consider him to be a photogenic figure, when he does twist at the waist, you can't see it so well. Like it's not totally breaking up the sculpt because it's hidden a little bit by the belts and all that stuff. So it doesn't bother me quite as much on a figure like that. Whereas if you have just the waist cut and you turn it, and suddenly you just see flat spots all over the place, that's a little more bothersome. But there's something else. He doesn't have an extra head. He does have the extra hands. Like I said, he's got tons of paint. So I'm sitting here with my own kind of thoughts on what I consider to be photogenic. But if somebody were to say to me, you know what, Dave, this Flying Fist He-Man, he's totally photogenic and I dig him, I wouldn't fault you at all because he does look good. So let's see what we've got going on in the chat. LBZ, yeah, that Evil-Lyn looks so much better than the Revelations one. That's true, too. Tragic. I'm finally getting some time to get back to Road Pig. As promised, I can, let's see, I can go through perhaps with the lights and the helmet and the hammer, repainting everything. Oh, that's going to be messed up. I can't wait. I just want to see the messed up craziness of what people are going to do with Road Pig. Yeah, Evil-Lyn looks rad. Like I say, I don't fault somebody for thinking she's photogenic. I was just expressing my why I don't necessarily consider that way. Mr. Spencer, hola, Dave in chat. Sorry I'm late. Was playing some video games and that last mission took a while. Hey, man, when I was a kid, I used to skip dinner for video games. Okay, maybe not, but I tried to for video games. So, missed a bit of a live stream. I think you're good. Thank you for stopping by, man. What game was it? LBZ. Ah. All hail Photo Dave and chat. All hail the chat. Let's go with that. You guys are pretty rad. Thanks for stopping by, Harry. Yeah, not sure why Evil-Lyn had yellow skin in one of the other designs. I know, like when she was way back when, like when I was a kid, when I had some MOTU stuff, she was totally yellow. So I don't get that. I just thought it looked cooler, honestly. All right. No idea why Evil-Lyn had yellow skin. It was an odd look, but I never had her growing up. Okay. Did I have, I know I had her. I think I had Tila as well. Masters of the Universe is the odd line where my favorites were some of the villains. The Masterverse figures, all my favorites are the villains, with the exception of Snout Spout. I think Snout Spout's pretty rad. Hello, Alex Martinez. Thank you for stopping by, man. Just going through, having the fun, talking the stuff. Talking the, what do I say now? Stuff. Yes, let's go with that. Was playing Battletech by HBS. Well, a mod of it. Very nice. Battletech. I've heard of Battletech, but I don't know why. What's HBS, John? Here, you just come on here to basically teach me things. Or maybe Evil-Lyn got a liver transplant and cured the jaundice. You know what? That could very well be. I don't know, man. That was pretty yellow. That might be. Ooh. There's no jokes I can come up with. This is sadness. Spaded one. My toy collecting has taken a sharp left turn into Gunpla land, and I don't think, and I don't think I can dig myself out of this rabbit hole. Spaded one. You never start something new. You know what happens, man. But man, yeah, that one is one that I'm worried about starting because every time I see a Gundam, it just looks incredible. I'm like, okay, let's not. That would be bad. All right, on to the next thing, which is not the other. So we basically just went through all the stuff that went on pre-order that was worth chatting about that is not photogenic, except I did want to talk. I know I had asked you guys a while back if you wanted me to talk about these, and people seem to say, yeah, let's go with it. I want to talk a little bit about Transformers here. And the reason being, well, one, we've got some Super 7 going on. They did Deluxe Megatron instead of their Ultimates like they did with their Thundercats. See what everybody thinks of that. Personally, I just don't know. I know that their Optimus Prime, when he came out, his elbow was barely bent at all. And so I didn't really watch any kind of review on Megatron, so I don't know how he is. On the other hand, they changed up Lion-O some. Maybe they've changed up Megatron. But we'll go through the Super 7 stuff. I do like that box. That's pretty cool. And yeah, there's basically, there's Megatron. There's Megatron and the box facing forward. And there's Megatron facing forward and the box at a 3/4 view. So yeah, you don't get a lot in this package. So I'm curious what people think about that, but I'm more curious what people think about these crossovers, about the Transformers collaborations. Because what's throwing me off is at the beginning when they were doing things like the DeLorean and the Ecto-1, I believe they had a crossover with, what was it? Was it Top Gun or something? Like some of those made a lot of sense. And now they're just jumping into, it feels very Playmates like we're going to give the Turtle license to absolutely everything. Or maybe that's Viacom now or Nickelodeon. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, we're just going to give the Turtle license to everybody. it feels like Transformers is kind of falling down that, where they're like, yeah, we'll partner with anybody, just bring it in. And so I'm wondering if maybe the very next one should be the Fonz and Sky-Byte for the whole jumping the shark situation. I mean, and I'm not saying these look bad, it just seems like odd combinations. So I'm curious what people think about these, if you really think about them at all. Like the G.I. Joe Transformers, those make sense to me because they're both Hasbro, you know? But this stuff's starting to get crazy. And that's a crazy matrix there. Let's stop on this picture and let's see what you guys are chatting about here. You're probably going to be like, I don't care about the crossovers. Hairbrain Schemes, the company that makes it. Got it, John. Thank you. There's a couple different similar games plus a tabletop version, so we try to be specific when talking about it. Got it. I understand. So you're being specific to them, and they know what you're talking about, and then you're trying to be specific to me, and I'm like, derp. Hello, Ghost Tab. Thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate it. Harry Mezco should do Master of the Universe. You know what? I'm really curious about what Mondo is going to do. I mean, I know they're doing the 2000X line. I'm just curious. I want to know. I want to know how that's going to look and what the price is going to be more specifically. Gunpla like combines my need to make, let's see, Dios and my need for a highly posable action figure. Very dangerous mix. You don't want no part of this, do we? I know that one. I got that reference. I understood that. Anyway, yeah, that's one of the dangers of me. So the dangers of me. I've been asking about the Godzillas recently because I can get those 1/144th scale buildings. And I think like putting together Dios with those and Godzilla just absolutely wrecking them would be hilarious. And now you're basically putting together Gunpla that are probably pretty close to that same scale, and they could absolutely wreck them, which is always awesome. And so you know, the 30 minutes missions, also by Bandai, are they are 1/144th scale. So if you need like generic bots and you need a break from doing the more complicated stuff, just go find some 30 minutes missions and party with those. Not that I want to encourage the habit. Okay, maybe I kind of want to encourage the habit. Who knows? Nolan, what's up, man? Thank you for stopping in. Hola. Must push more buttons. Mr. Martinez, I like the Transformers G.I. Joe crossovers myself. Yeah, I think those make sense to me. Like, what is it? Soundwave and the Thunder Machine, Cup and the Triple T, and Megatron and the Hiss so far, correct? I'm personally not a fan of random crossover stuff. Being a TMNT fan cemented that that's a dangerous practice. Yeah. Yeah, I can see if you're like, okay, I need all the things that are TMNT. Wait, I don't need all the TMNT MOTU too. And Stranger Things and all that. Mr. Element. Hello, sir. Thanks for stopping in. We're having fun. We're talking Transformer crossovers. The Fonz and Sky-Byte. Seriously, I think that's next. What's up, man? Whew. All right, Mondo has real Ghostbusters coming out, about 100 per figure, and they have stated officially that the 1/12 MOTU stuff will be lower priced. I did see that. That's why I'm curious what lower means. Like, are we talking $95? Are we talking $60? That's where my curiosity is. Well, we'll see. I mean, who knows? I guess it's kind of dependent on Mattel ever so slightly. What they'd like to get out of it. Not that we'll ever know that number. 30 minutes mission stuff is great. Yep. I did get what did I get my niece? I think I talked about it here before. It was a Spinatia, I think. And it was purple and white with some kind of red visor, maybe. And I tried attaching the shoulder, and the peg needed to be just a little longer for it to really move well. As it is, the shoulder, it's like the ball isn't all the way in the shoulder. So the one I bought for my niece didn't work out. Now I'm not sure she wants anything to do with 30 minutes missions. So I'm like, oh no. It's gonna be crazy. It's always crazy. All right, so that was that with Transformers. I was just curious, just wondering what the people thought. And now what we'll do is we shall go to the four photogenic figures that I found here. And like I said, once we get through this and we go to Toy Arc, we'll talk about some of that stuff that's up there. And then you guys can let me know what you found that maybe I didn't see. Because hopefully that exists. All right. Pushing the share the screen. Abort. Okie dokie. We have Bleach from McFarlane Toys. This guy. Yeah, I don't know stuff. Toshiro Hitsugaya, something like that. Anyway, yeah, there's him. And again, I don't know things. And for those that are watching, when it comes to McFarlane stuff, I technically they do hit the photogenic figure spot more often than not. But what throws me is their articulation isn't consistent. Like it's not consistently well engineered. Sometimes it's engineered incredibly well, and sometimes it looks like it should be, but it doesn't really do much. So whenever I show a McFarlane figure, it's kind of like, I guess, buy at your own risk if you're going to buy them for photography. And maybe if you just want them to stand there and look cool and take photos like that, you're good to go. For me, I like to really move my stuff around. So that's why there's always a little bit of a caution when it comes to McFarlane stuff. But like I said, technically, we do have a photogenic figure here. We've got weapon, we got extra hands. This character would be a 6 out of 7 in the photogenic figure in the old school scoring system. And that doesn't count the stand because the stands, man, I think at this point, McFarlane probably isn't paying anything for those stands. But who knows? And then there's this character, also from Bleach, Uryu Ishida. And I'm sure I'm absolutely destroying these names, but that's a big bow. And that's Uryu. And we've got extra hands. We've got the big bow. Again, this one technically falls under the photogenic figures banner. I just don't know how it's going to be. So oftentimes with McFarlane stuff, I kind of recommend, if you want your stuff to really move a lot, waiting till reviews come out so you can see how well they move. Spaded one. My sister named her dog Shiro after this character. Oh dear. That's not bad though. That must mean that that character is pretty rad. Yeah, I heard these Bleach figs aren't bad. It's pretty good for 20 bucks. It's Hitsugaya. Okay, got it. Thank you, LBZ. Appreciate it. Spaded one. Kind of nice that it doesn't just have a blank stand. Little things like a logo go a long way. The worst part is, I think the multiverse ones, they don't have a blank stand either. It's just that DC is also in black, so it's like it's just slightly shinier. So very, very strange stuff. Yeah, we've got those. And now we've got Kim Kaphwan, maybe, from Storm Collectibles. And like I said in the past, this stuff is in the video description below. This one's BBTS. No kind of affiliate thing here. But you gotta appreciate what Storm does. Their stuff always looks cool. Somebody had commented, I asked a question on X last week, which is better, Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? They said King of Fighters, and me being the guy I am, I said never heard of her. But that kind of that went over. I of course said kidding, I'm joking and all that. But the fact is, I didn't play much King of Fighters. I don't know who these characters are. So my assumption is Storm is nailing the look, but I know they're nailing like articulation and accessories and all that just because I've seen enough Anthony's Customs reviews where I know that they do pretty good work. So here is Kim Kaphwan if you're into King of Fighters. That's a big kick. Great, googly moogly, that's a lot of big kicks. That's balance right there, ladies and gents. That's a big foot for that balance. That's who needs balance when you can just do the splits. That's pretty cool. I do like the poses they put him in. And I always like the effects that Storm puts in there. They just always look like they really work to get it right. And we have a throwdown. We're still throwing down. What I do is I go through and I just grab all the pictures to see if we see anything interesting going on. If not, well, this way I can just keep going. Fly through. Oh, we have yelling. Kim is angry. Oh, Kim has gritted teeth. Kim is about to throw down. That's what's going to happen. Oh, either got done throwing down or now it's just, okay, time for the model shot for the video game cover. And there you go. One thing that I wish Storm would do is I wish they'd make their accessory listings larger, or like, these images so we could see, or maybe make those separate images so we could see what was going on a lot better. Obviously, there's a bunch of hands. I would say this means either 3 different heads or 3 different face plates. We've got the effect here. I think that was the ground, like the punching the ground or kicking the ground effect. So we can see it, but we don't necessarily see what the hands are. So I do wish they do something there. If it's a McFarlane anime fig, then I'm going to just assume it's going to be at my local Ross eventually. You know what I saw? So, guys, how often are you guys at Best Buy looking stuff up? Because I was at Best Buy the other day and they had some SH Figuarts figures, and I had no idea that SH Figuarts was at Best Buy. And obviously, they have a bunch of NECA and all that. I feel like their collectibles section is starting to expand a little bit. So, just curious if you guys have noticed the same kind of thing. John, never heard of her. Is that a Replacement Killers reference? It might be. I probably heard it from somebody else because I don't remember the Replacement Killers. Let's see. I haven't played King of Fighters in years, like back in the 90s, arcade. Whoo! I can't say anything. Like the last time I legit played a video game was Halo 3 when Halo 3 was popular. It's been a bit. I need to make adjustments. I do actually feel like I kind of missed some video games, so I might need to try some out at some point soon. Storm Collectibles keep announcing figures, but I don't see them on the arrival tab. Oh, see. Yeah, I don't know there. Storm's just not a line I collect. So I point out when they go up for pre-order, but beyond that, I don't know much. Let's see. Anyone else fell? Harry, wait a sec. Okay, I see you're about to fix it. We're good. I got my NECA Turtles from Best Buy and Figuarts Ultraman. Nice. Yeah, I was surprised to see Figuarts there, and they've got the less expensive Figuarts. I've seen them at Target, I've seen them at Meijer, and now I saw them at Best Buy. I was just surprised. Like the $35 variety. Anyone else feeling the FOMO on the Mofex Daredevil? I pre-ordered him. So I'm not feeling the FOMO, but what I am feeling the FOMO on, so when I took my picture for the BBTS sweepstakes of my Mofex collection, I noticed there was no green, and then I realized, wait, that's because I missed Poison Ivy and Jean like the Phoenix. I should make those adjustments. So I'm kind of having a little bit of FOMO for them. Let's see, the same at my local Best Buy. Okay, Alex, cool. I just wondered. Hey, Star, what's going on? Grazie for stopping by. Must have pushed the buttons. Work, Spargan. Okay, just got in from work. When are we talking cyberpunk edge runners? Has there been more news for edge runners? Because we're going to go to Toy Arc here in a minute. As soon as we get through these. Yes, Best Buy has been expanding their toys and collectibles and downsizing their physical media. I knew they were downsizing their physical media, but I was curious about what all they're kind of replacing that space with. I've been, because of the photos, I've been looking a lot at their monitors lately. I've been looking at their lighting systems. And then, of course, I'm looking at the collectibles. But I don't know what else they're doing. Like, it almost seems like their displays are taking up a lot of room. I don't go in there all that often. Clearly, I need to go in there more because then I got on their website and I'm like, holy crap, Martin, Morphig equals FOMO. Yeah, that and the in art stuff. Yeah, we'll have to see what's going on with those. I'm trying to get my collection pared down focus wise, and everybody's making it difficult. The only Storm collectible, let's see, I need, maybe I only, is Darkseid and Lobo. Are those the only ones you have or the only ones you need? Because, yeah, the Dark Side specifically looks pretty cool. I did see that. Oh, got it. Got it, Alex. Thank you for the clarification. Okay, so we've got that. Let's get one more here from Star. We'll keep moving. Maybe I'm watching too many movies. Keep thinking if you speak edge runners, they will come. Oh, that's a good plan. All right. Push the button, Dave. Why isn't it working? Egad. There we go. All right. Now, you'll notice that I talked about the Masterverse figures before that, I didn't think they necessarily fit in the photogenic figures category. Fisto, however, I do think fits in the photogenic figures category. And you'll see why in a minute. You can see here that any kind of bend on him, it almost looks like, I don't know that he has much going on at the diaphragm because everything they shot, although it looks like he might, so we'll see, but everything they shot had it twisting a little bit or with everything lined up. And because he's got that belt, it hides that cut. But that belt almost looks like it's part of the sculpt too. So who knows? Like the metal piece above the purple belt is what I'm talking about. But I love that axe. That axe looks like, or that hammer almost looks like something that could also come with Road Pig. Weather that thing down and put some lights in that tragic. That would be a blast. But here's the thing with Fisto here. He's got that crazy huge hammer. He's got a crazy sword. He's got a fist. Like most of the time, I would say I need at least two hands, but he's Fisto. The one hand is always a fist. It makes sense. But you can swap out the other and you can swap out the head. So let me try and get a closer look here at what's going on with his belly. I want to know. Zoom in. Oh, it's not. There's no love. No love at all. Hold on. Here we go. No, it doesn't look like there's any kind of diaphragm, anything going on there. So let me try one more. Oops. Stop it. No, I don't think so. I think it's just a waist cut. But because it's got this piece up here, it hides the flat spots. So yeah, I think I'm good with Fisto. I think I can consider him a photogenic figure. Not that I'd get him because I wouldn't have a very large MOTU collection. But yeah, I think Fisto looks pretty good. I'm kind of impressed with him and with everything he comes with. I got the Akuma Storm collectibles. It looks good, but the scale is too big to match with my Marvel Legends. That's the one thing they're doing. What's it called again, guys? The arena something that Storm is doing to actually start making true 1/12 scale figures. That'll be cool when they do that. Hopefully, they just take the figures they've got now and downsize them a little bit. Dave, check Four Horsemen daily. They're stocked on the Sleepy Hollow figure. Unfortunately, it sold out already. Oh, no. Thank you, Ghost Tab. I will do that. Much appreciated. Let's see, it should turn. The middle loop on the armor doesn't line up with the purple belt. That's right, I think. When I looked at, like, when you look at the back of him, hang on, let me try this again. Pushing the buttons. Let's zoom in right here. So yeah, it looks like the waist is going to turn, but I'm not seeing. I'm trying to figure out how I can. It's not letting me move the image so I can get a closer look at the parts I want to look at. Maybe. Oh, you know what? Let's try this. Let's see. Let's see if I can outsmart preview, guys. I did not outsmart preview, guys. Preview is currently smarter than me. But yeah, I don't know. Like, we definitely get the cut, but it looks like it's just the cut, which means with this up here, at least when you're looking at the front, you're not going to see the crazy flat spots, at least on this bottom part. You will if you try taking a shot of them from the ground up, from like the worm's eye view. All right, so that was it as far as the Storm Arena. Thank you, LBZ. I appreciate it. Let's see, Arena. Cool beans, Q. All right. So now let's close this out. What? Stop it. Because today, like I said, today was one of those days where it just felt like you're running all over the place, so I didn't grab pictures. But what we can do instead is look at the news portion from Toy Arc itself. Bingo bango. That's right, we're bringing back all the classics tonight. And let's see, random photo shoot. That might be fun. DC Multiverse preview of upcoming Batman v Superman figures. And this is what I was talking about in my description of everything. Is all these that just suddenly, it's craziness. And they're just teasers. But here's a teaser with Darkseid and the Zack Snyder Superman. Like, I mean, both being Zack Snyder, obviously. And so I am curious about this a little bit, but we'll see. I personally, I don't dislike the design of Superman. I don't like the design of Darkseid. But obviously, Batman always looks cool. And this Wonder Woman, I don't get a Gal Gadot face out of that at all, but everything else looks right. You could almost, if this were just a regular comic style tiara, you could make her work for your comic figures, and that'd be awesome. And excuse me while I make it all disappear. But yeah, I think she looks really good. And they're probably going to do that as kind of a correction to the first Wonder Woman they made that had those were basically sausage legs, it looked like, right? And that's bad juju. Tragic. Tell me where to put an LED and I'll get it done. I think I'm going to put the battery bank in Road Pig's hog hammer. I have his helmet rigged to the back of the body armor. Oh, good Lord, man. That's going to be rad. Oh, the picture possibilities. The torso and the waist look like they're two separate pieces. Right, right. The torso and the waist are definitely, well, I mean, so the area just below the waist, that's definitely a separate piece than the torso. What I'm saying is I don't think there's a diaphragm cut anywhere in there. I think the torso is pretty solid. This is why I wasn't a communications major. LBZ, that's not Darkseid. That's supposed to be Doomsday. Oh, okay. I don't like the Doomsday design either. How about that? Let's see. I'd never buy any of those. I don't want to remember Batman versus Superman. That's fair. That is very fair. I honestly, I can't wait till the James Gunn Superman movie. I so hope that it just knocks everything out of the park. To me, Fisto looks to have the battle armor HeMan articulation. I don't know. I don't know the battle armor HeMan. So we'll see. Is it just so does battle armor HeMan, does he just have articulation at the waist, or is there something at the diaphragm? Martine, Darkseid or Doomsday? You're right. You're right. Yeah, LBZ busted me. That was Doomsday. Sorry, I get confused because either one just like looks like generic alien to me in that design. Kind of like how the Transformers in the Bay movies look like generic metal slabs. Let's see, what's the current state of the DC movie universe? Last I saw, it was not well. That's why I'm hoping that James Gunn can turn it around with the Superman movie. I need that to happen badly. Apparently, Joker is a musical, which I didn't really know. And that made it so I'm not going to go watch it. And I guess a lot of people decided they're not going to watch it because it apparently had a very serious second weekend drop. So, James Gunn's looking at that going, guys, you're killing me. You're not giving me any hope to make Superman good. But yeah, they should have made these when the movie came out, not years later. I do agree. And that's the one thing with Mofex too. They do the same thing, but I think they do it mostly in the name of accuracy. Some things are a little off. So you still kind of go, come on, Mofex, why did it take that long if you're going to get it wrong? But yeah, when you're talking McFarlane, who seems to just hammer them out all the time, it is kind of surprising that it's as late as it is. Also, what's the current state of McFarlane toys? Last I experienced, they're not made well. I don't even, probably the worst things I've said on here have to do with McFarlane toys and the Acolyte. So I'm try to be careful with McFarlane. I don't think they're not made well. I mean, they're pretty sturdy figures, but their engineering tends to be off. Their sculpt, sometimes you can get a McFarlane figure that looks like maybe the arms and legs were sculpted by a different person than the torso and the head or whatever. It just, a lot of their stuff seems like a mishmash sometimes. So I want them to come out with just, as much as I rag on Legends, sometimes I'm getting better with Legends because they're starting to add more accessories. There is a consistency to how well they function. I prefer the look of McFarlane stuff, but I prefer the scale of the Legend stuff. But to be honest, I don't get either one. So I couldn't tell you too much. Like, I literally have 3 regular sized Legends figures and a Galactus. And then with McFarlane, I had the first Page Puncher's Batman because I couldn't get rid of it. So I don't know. I haven't handled any of them in a while. Let's see, that Batman warehouse fight is unforgettable. That's true. That's true. But it was almost like, I'll kill you all. And I'm going, wait, that's Batman? I mean, he didn't say that, but that's what all that fighting looked like was going to happen. McFarlane is either getting better or they're just managing money so they release a good figure every once in a while. And I feel like that's what Legends does too, Like, people want to compare Legends and McFarlane. To be honest, I appreciate Legends more because of their engineering. Just because, like, McFarlane in my head should have the better engineering because they have the ball peg waist, but they don't make it function very well. So I'm like, why aren't you guys better there? Legends is more consistent, but I would argue that McFarlane, with the exception of some of the head sculpts, has the far better sculpting. So, I mean, I don't know that I can compare the two. Again, I don't really have any from either line. So that's just more of an outsider's perspective. Okay, Harry, I can't argue with that. Best scene in the movie, hands down. Not enough to save the movie, but high quality. Ladies and gentlemen, Martha. That's all I've got on the BVS. See, I think I like that part of BVS, the warehouse fight, because it reminded me of the Arkham Batman games. Yeah, I've seen, here's how bad that is. I've seen the cinematics on the Arkham Batman game, so I can actually see that. I don't enjoy bashing any company that's striving to give us what we want, but nearly every review I've seen of McFarlane Figs is replete with breakages and poor construction. Maybe I just haven't. I tend to not watch many reviews when it comes to McFarlane or Legends. Like, unless I think somebody's just gonna have a blast with it, like they're just gonna sit there and rip on them crazily. So now we've got an armored up Batman, but you guys are right. I mean, they waited a long time to get these out there. And here's all 4. Yeah, that is definitely Doomsday because Darkseid did have some blue, didn't he? He had like some kind of blue armor. But either way, they just kind of looked really generic to me. Like even Steppenwolf, the only thing about Steppenwolf was his like the horns on his head. Once you get rid of those, he's just another generic alien. But I do like if you take out the fact that we're talking about the Snyderverse characters here, I think that Wonder Woman looks really good, at least from the teaser. And the armored Batman looks pretty good too. So we'll see how well they function. We'll see how good they look when they come out. But yeah, that's what I was going with as far as teasers there. Now let's keep seeing. Okay, okay. Who wants to look at? Yeah, I'm just going to click the button. We've got the product listings for Masterverse Origins and the Turtles of Grayskull. Let me see here. Let's get a better look. All right. So if anybody's into this stuff, we've got the Masterverse New Eternia. We've got Flying Fist, HeMan, and Fisto, and Evil-Lyn here that we've talked about. We've got King Randor. We've got Roboto, Skelkon, and Beastman. Some of these out already? And then Zodak and Skeletor from the Vintage Collection. Man, these companies are really trying to confuse everybody, aren't they? But yeah, this must be the 2025 list of stuff that's coming. And I do think that their Beastman, the last Beastman that was released, looked fantastic. That was just cool stuff. So anyway, there's the poster for New Eternia Masterverse that's coming up. My assumption is if I keep going. Here we go, Cartoon Collection. Okay, so here's what's up with Cartoon Collection. And I mentioned this on X as well. I don't really care about Masters of the Universe so much, but I've always thought the Evil Horde was cool. So I keep looking at these going, well, if I get the Horde, I should get She-Ra, and I can get Mantenna, I can get Hordak. I think Catra in the cartoon was part of the Horde, and then I think Modulok is part of the Horde as well. What do we have here? Oh, 2-pack. Oh, I didn't see that. Anyway, Evil Horde 2-pack. I'd probably get those maybe if I decided to go nuts on the Horde. I probably wouldn't go too nuts on the Horde. But what's everybody think of the Cartoon Collection? Because right now, all I've got is the first He-Man and the first Skeletor. And I'm just curious, are people kind of getting in on this stuff or not so much? Because generally, while I talk about Masterverse, I don't talk about the 5.5, like the origin stuff, all that much. Oops. Get up, and get down. The world's greatest detective didn't even check Superman's parents' name. The Martha meme is the best contribution from Batman versus Superman. Yep. When they got to that part and I was watching, I was like, no. Why did this happen? Steppenwolf was entirely too similar to the Destroyer character from the Thor film. That's true. I didn't put that together, but you're absolutely right. He just said a few more things. The worst part about the Martha scene is that it was the second time Affleck had done that particular emotional beat in a superhero movie, and it was better the first time in Daredevil. I saw Daredevil, but it's been so long I don't remember that at all. Now you almost feel bad. I'm sitting here ripping on BVS. I should be ripping on Daredevil. Poor Affleck. I swear Affleck could have been probably about the best Batman ever if he were just written as Batman. See, I hope James Gunn can find a Wonder Woman that doesn't sound like she's hearing impaired. Oh dear. I didn't think Gal Gadot sounded bad. How many He-Man lines have come out in the last 4 to 5 years? Seems like there's a new line every few months. Well, and they're starting another one, I think, in 2025. Isn't that the year, guys, that the He-Man Thundercats crossover comes out? Curious about that. I'd like to see, you know what we need? If Mondo's going to tackle He-Man, I want Mondo to tackle the Thundercats, too. And I might not collect either one, but I just think they'd kill it in both. Cartoon Collection looks fine, but not inspiring me to collect them. Yeah, that's something else too that I kind of consider is I like the toy looks more than the cartoon looks in most things. And I think that's true with the Evil Horde as well. But again, I'm not sure I want to jump down the Horde. Like if Mondo started making the Horde, I might get serious about it. And then we've got the Turtles of Grayskull. Cool, look at that. I can zoom, but I can't move it. All right, hang on. Here we go. All right, we've got Mechanic and Ratlore, which the Mechanic looks pretty cool. The Ratlore looks pretty cool. This stuff does look good. Donatello, Raphael, Leonardo. There's not, that just keeps going all over the place. Sorry about that, guys. They just, I mean, I did think when this line was first announced, I thought it looked like a blast. I still think it looks like a blast, but honestly, they kept saying, and this character is going to be an exclusive, and this character is going to be an exclusive. And I thought, I'm going to dip out. I'm not even going to really start this one because I don't want to be on eBay all the time trying to collect my MOTU stuff because I'm not somebody that goes to Walmart and Target all the time. So I kept hearing that things were going to be exclusive, so I just didn't go for it. And I know the argument is, well, what lines don't have exclusives? Well, Mofex and NECA eventually, you can get most of that stuff fairly easily, except the Blue Renette. I still need to get that somehow. That Mikey is cool because Mikey is always cool. Mikey is, of course, the best turtle. Clamp Champ looks good. Mutated Ninjor. I'm Batman. Actually, that's more the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh, I think, is what's going on there. I do like that Super Shredder. Somehow, every time MOTU does a character with like a snake tail, it just looks awesome. And King Hiss, oh, see, getting into the snake characters that I wasn't really familiar with, that stuff's fun for me because it doesn't feel like I'm just buying the same stuff that I had when I was a kid. And I know a lot of people like that stuff because of that kind of thing. I'm just not that guy. Oh, geez. And we've got all the pictures. All right, guys, quick poll. Just say yes or no. I'm going to ask now. Do you want to go through all the pictures of these Masterverse and Origins figures? If you say yes, game on. If you say no, then game off. We don't need to. I'm good with that. I do think that Ben certainly looks like the definitive Bruce Wayne in my mind. He just needs a good writer. Even the best actors are subject to the material they're given to work with. I totally agree, Star. And that's the thing. Like, Affleck has proven that he's a phenomenal actor. So if you just give him, Batman to be, like the Batman character in words, he'll nail it. I'm confident he'll nail it. And he obviously had the build for it. That's why, I think every other Batman, truly, I think pretty much every other Batman actor has been really good. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, they were written more as Batman. I think Keaton and I think Affleck had the best acting chops, probably, of anybody that's played Batman. Although a lot of people are starting to say Pattinson is really good. So we'll see. So that's why I just think Affleck could have been way better if he were given material just based on his other work. See, I zoned out. Heard Best Turtle and don't see Leo anywhere. Oh, that's because I never say Leo when I say Best Turtle, John. No from Ghost Tab. All right, cool beans. Thank you, Ghost Tab. Let's see, not a MOTU fan. Maybe show the one you like the most. I'm kind of ambivalent, honestly, when it comes to these. I mean, some of them I think look very cool, but none of these really strike my fancy. If I were to go through, let me see here. Like, generally, the Masterverse stuff doesn't do it. I do like, let's see, or the Masterverse stuff actually is usually better than the regular, like the regular Origins. But again, okay, tell you what, we will stop at this Shredder looking thing. Just because I do think they do something right when they add like the snake stuff to their characters. Like, truly, that just looks like a cool toy. And you can see Shredder elements for absolute certain. But I do think that looks pretty cool. So I don't know. Like I say, I'm not a big MOTU guy. I want to see what Mondo does with MOTU, and we'll go from there. By the way, before I forget, has everyone seen the leaked images of the Ecto 1 HasLab? And if so, what are you thinking? Is that something you're going to go for? See, Star. Those Turtle Figs shout outs to the G.I. Joe characters Globulus and Nemesis Enforcer. The characters and or characteristics and colors are there. They might be. Who knows what the designers were thinking when they came up with them? That's a very real possibility. But they've been doing snake tails for a couple years now, and I feel like whenever you see a snake tail, you could think Globulus. Nope. Thanks, Harry. Nolan, for the cartoon collection, She-Ra, Hordak, Leech look the best. See, and that's if I were to go anywhere with all that stuff, it would definitely be the Horde. See. Agreeing. Thank you for agreeing on the no. Star. Shredder looks similar to Globulus. That guy with the wings looks similar to Nemesis Enforcer. No, I don't disagree. I think you're right. But there's been so many of those kinds of designs. It's possible the designers somehow just had them in their brains and didn't even think about the connection. See, for Turtles of Grayskull, Ninjor looks the best. Ninjor did look pretty cool. He was the Nemesis guy. Ray Paz, thank you for stopping by, sir. Must push more buttons. No, what was it? HasLab? Yep, it is the HasLab Ghostbusters Ecto 1, and it's going to be, it looks like, 1/12 scale for their real Ghostbusters line, or not their real Ghostbusters line, for their plasma collection. And it looks like they might have some cool stuff going with it, too. I had not seen the Ecto 1 pics. All right, hang on. We'll get at let's chat a little more here, and I'll go find them. Ghost Have, Ecto 1 HasLab, hard pick. I'll say, let's check the price first. And I like the Ghostbusters a lot. And for a while, I was thinking, man, if it's the Ecto 1, I might need to get it. I don't think I need the Ecto 1. Like, I don't think I need Ghostbusters stuff. But who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind. Why must they do this when I'm broke? Yeah, that's why I'm kind of sitting here saying I really have to focus my collection. Is there's so much good stuff coming out that you're kind of like, okay, if I don't focus, I'm going to buy all the things, and that's bad. I'd go for the HasLab, but I don't know the scale of the new figs. The Plasma series was a bit short compared to Marvel Legends, and that's true, and that's something else. Is there going to be another line, or are they scaling it for the Plasma series? Great hanging with you guys again. Awesome to have you in the chat, Star. I appreciate you stopping by, man. Good to see you. Have a blast. Ray, hey, Toypixx. Hey, Ray, man. Thanks again for stopping in. It's always appreciated when you guys come to chat. LBZ, I have the Plasma series ones in storage since I don't have the Ecto one. See. So if you get the Ecto one, I guess we'll get more information, I'm sure, sometime very soon about it. All HasLabs come down to price. Anything above 300 is a no-go for me. Let's see. What was the Hiss 300 or was it 325? See, you're right. Price is important. Ramen Toys has raised the bar on price for 112 vehicles, especially like when we're talking, I just brought up the Hiss. When we're talking about properties that are owned by Hasbro, those prices are going to need to be down quite a bit, I would think, if they really want to sell them. But if Marvel Legends is anything to go by, they might not be doing HasLab so much anymore. Like this Ghostbusters one and maybe a couple more G.I. Joe, maybe some vintage collection. I don't know. I think one of the problems with HasLabs is they were advertised as dream projects. And at this point, either all the dream projects have been made or they can't make any of the rest of them. Like I've said, my dream project truly of everything that is under the Hasbro umbrella for the licenses for their own stuff would be a 112 scale Millennium Falcon. There is no way they're ever going to make a 1/12 scale Millennium Falcon. So I think they're out of dream projects, and I think they're out of just surefire hits in some of the lines. $2.99 plus tax for the hiss. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate it. That's what I was wondering. Because yeah, the hiss is rad, but I knew it was straddling that line a little bit. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do then. We will go to the Twitter. Actually, hold on. I can't be letting you guys see what I type in. See how that works? Everybody wants all my passwords all the time. That's not true at all. Da 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 da. Typing, typing, typing. I have got to be on here a little more. It was the last couple of weeks have been just slammed, but I think I'm finally slowing down a little bit where I'm going to be able to be on the X and be talking to everybody on social media like I was way back. All right. Let me go. Let me find it first, guys, and then I'll be sure to share the screen. I'm just not there yet. I'm looking, but I will find it. Dagnabbit. Here we go. That was, oh, and there's more pics that I didn't see. Fantastic. All right. Here we go. I'm coming back. Woo! It's me again. All right. This is Paternia's X page. Now, what I'm seeing here, there's a ghost here. There's Slimer. Slimer is awesome. Plenty of lights up top. I mean, I don't know what construction is for all that stuff. As always, when it comes to price, I am completely ignorant. All I can do is take something and compare it to something else. Like I've got my Cobra Commander sitting next to me, a $25 figure. I can take that Cobra Commander and compare him to, say, the red Target Chun Li that I just got, two $25 figures, and see what I think. And that's as close as I can come up with a price. Like, okay, do these seem like they're reasonably priced? And with those two, I would say yes, but maybe something else comes out that's 25 bucks that has so much more stuff, you know? So for me, I am too ignorant in the way this stuff is to be able to tell you whether or not it would be worth whatever the price is. So I try not to get into the pricing discussions unless, like I said, I have two things from two competing lines that I can look at both and say, okay, this one does this one does this one feels like it's worth more of the money, you know? So when it comes to this stuff, you'll have to just make up your own mind based on budget and what you hear from the community, I suppose. But we have a Lewis. We have a Slimer. We have a Lewis. We have, this looks like an Egon in black. And I don't know, that looks like maybe you got Ray back there. That looks like Winston. And I don't know if this is a new line. They didn't make those for the Plasma series, did they? And obviously we've got headlights on the Ecto one. So all this stuff is, I mean, it is cool for sure. And I want to see, let's see, there was another group of 4 images here. Here we go. Oh, that's the librarian ghost, isn't it? That's kind of cool. I wonder if this is like a pack. Oh, you know what? That almost looks like, can you order 2 of them? Oh, look at that. They're all in kind of that darker uniform. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Are they kind of restarting the line? I mean, there's tons of stuff up here. I mean, they've got a lot going on, and we know that this stuff will sell out because the Ghostbusters stuff always goes crazy. Let me go back to this picture while we discuss this a little bit. See what everybody's thinking. Nolan, the Ecto one will hopefully be 250, but have a feeling it'll be more around 350. It seems, I don't know if Sony just, it almost seems like Sony or Columbia or whatever just charges a lot for the license, but I don't know. Again, I don't know as much. If I had all the paperwork in front of me telling me everything, I could absolutely say, okay, this is overpriced, this isn't. Sadly, I am not privy to Hasbro's and Sony's contracts. So I got nothing on this one. My name's Star, and I have no spine. I gave in and ordered multiple Flame Toys Transformers today. I'm weak and in need of the strength of others. I can stand firm with all of your help. Star, I too am pretty weak. I don't know. But that's, which ones did you order? Because they do look cool. I've been tempted as well. But I will tell you the one thing that all this overwhelmingly cool stuff coming out has done, and I've alluded to it a couple times in the chat already, is really make me focus. So I'm looking right now at maybe collecting 4 lines, and outside of those 4 lines, maybe grabbing troop builders from things like Monster Force and Action Force, only because you need troop builders for like one against, like against all odds type photos, right? So I'm thinking for me, okay, let's stick with the Mafex comic characters, not the Elseworld stuff, like just comic in the 616 and in the Prime universes. Let's just stick with that. I'm thinking Jada's Street Fighter. Actually, I can't say that. I'm thinking all Jada. So there I'm kind of hosed. I'm thinking the NECA Eastman and Laird, like the Mirage Studios Turtles. And I'm thinking the 3-0 Transformers, the MDLX ones, just the ones that showed up in the cartoon, not all the repaints and all that. So those are the lines that right now I'm thinking I need to focus on, which might free me up to get army builders and to get more stuff for the Dio. So all I can say is what I'm doing, which is all this stuff is so cool. I can't sample it all. So I got to dial it in and try and stick with just a couple lines. So hopefully that helps. But if not, hey, go nuts on those Flame Toys Transformers, man. Miss Cogsmith, what's going on? Happy Monday to you as well. Thank you for stopping by. We're all just sitting here talking all kinds of crazy stuff tonight. Yeah, that's way too big. Just like the 112 for anything else GI Joe, it's coming to a close. Maybe a tank and 2 sea vehicles. Yeah, yeah, we'll see. I mean, the what is it? The Moray would be cool to see. The whale. I don't know that they'd ever make a whale, but a whale would be cool. Let's see, Star. I get it. This toy thing is an addiction. Yep, for sure. And that's why it's so hard for me too, because all of it looks good. That's why when people say just collect what you like, I'm like, but I like it all. Another issue against the Ecto one is the white mold. I can see it turning yellow after a couple, let's see, after a couple of years. That's a possibility too. I wonder what they'll do about that. That might be something like when they talk about it, they might address it because a lot of people know about the white turning yellow for everything. Perfect for world building, chasing down Monster Force and NECA's universe monsters. Crap, I forgot about that too because I do want to start adding some NECA horror stuff. Oh man, this hurts, guys. I'm telling you, trying to focus and even trying to focus, there's so much cool stuff. Let's see. I'm such a weakling. It was Starscream that got me. I tried. I really tried. He just gave me that look. I gave in. I can't say no to my guy Screamer. Huh. I understand that. I do understand that. Not so much Starscream. It tends to be Wolverine for me. I'm like, ah, oh, Wolvie, why do you taunt me so? Star, have you picked up any of the Yellow Park Transformers figures? Oh, and I keep hearing good things there too. Oh yeah, and Missing Link. I want to get some Missing Link. See, this is hard, guys. Focusing is hard. They keep getting a lot of word around all the toy reviewers. Yep, I have noticed that, Ray. They're getting a lot of the reviewers to talk, and their Instagram and everything is growing pretty quickly. I'm wondering, I'm hoping that they can keep it going. Not yet. Yet. Star, I don't want to say anything to make you possibly buy more because I'm trying to be helpful, but Yellow Park's got a star screen. That was not nice. My apologies. If you do, let me know what you think. Yeah, YOLO. Will you do the Jada Scooby Doo? Absolutely. I'm not looking at it as the Street Fighter line, although I want to get the Street Fighter stuff first. I'm looking at it as the Jada line. Like, I genuinely, I feel like we've all been there. Most of us have probably been collecting since the beginning of Jada starting with their action figures. And so I feel like that's a cool thing to see. Here's where they started and here's where they're going, like that's that cyberpunk edge runners. I want to see that almost as bad as Star. I just want to know. I want to know what they're going to do with those. But yes, I will. And the funny part is, I don't know Street Fighter that well. I don't know Mega Man that well. I know Scooby Doo, but I never thought I'd care enough to get figures. If it's Jada, I want it. It's that simple. It's crazy. I ordered Starscream, but if I get Star, well, then it's pretty much mandatory that I grab Optimus Primal. And as long as Prime is coming, I need to grab Jazz as well. Stop. This is madness. I know, man. That's the rabbit hole. That's why it's hard to. That's why I sit back and I'm like, I can't start. I can't start something else. Ray, I'm all in on anything Jada does. Yep. Yep. Jada is key. Jada is Megafire or Key. I liked Key, but Megafire works as well. That Yellow Park Optimus from Age of Extinction looks amazing. That does look good. I gotta give that to him for sure. That's not my favorite Prime design. In fact, that's far from it, but they nailed that design. So I can't say that they didn't do a good job. That hurt, Dave. My wife would like a word with you in private, please. My apologies. My apologies. MDLX has one too. Clearly, I was very sorry there. Ecto looks fiery dope. I hope it's big enough for 1/12 at least. No medium scale this time. Please make a little roomy. Looks fire. Yeah, I think it looks really good. And like I say, man, Ghostbusters fans seem ravenous. They will go for it. Agreed, Skew. Project. I had to dip. I'm back. Just saw the Ecto one. Wow. Yeah, they've done a lot on this thing. And like I say, I don't even know how to judge price. Sorry, Star. Had to be done. Let's go back tragic since you said you just saw it. I don't know if you're just seeing that one picture. Here's a few more detailed looks of this thing. We've got Ghostbusters going on the LED screen. I don't know if it's actually going to be an LED screen, but maybe it's a sticker. I don't know. But that's a lot of stuff going on up top. And you know that all these companies are starting to say, yeah, with all the paint apps, that adds cost. That's a lot of paint apps at the top there. And I don't know how long putting together, say, the LEDs inside the plastic and putting together all those components, like we can look at it and say the LED doesn't cost hardly anything, but it's the time of the people that are putting it together that are factored into the cost. So I don't know, like, and I don't want to make any excuses. It's just I tend to be the same way where I'm just thinking, well, the LED doesn't cost a thing, but then I have to take it back, like step back and look at it as a business owner and be like, well, yeah, but there are people that are constructing this. And even if they're not people, they're robots and the robots cost money and all that. So yeah, that's why I sit back and I don't really talk price all that much. Is because I just don't know enough about the licensing agreements, about the contracts, about what these companies expect as far as profit margin is concerned, all that stuff. But if there's any wiggle room for the consumer, I will say it would be in the profit margin. And how many companies, especially Fortune 500, especially forget Fortune 500, especially publicly traded, are willing to lower their profit margin for this stuff. And that's where the argument comes in, I think, more so than anywhere else. But yeah, we got the librarian. I want to go back and find those others because these pictures were amazing. Like, what would tempt me the most of this thing is that Slimer. Like, I would get the Ecto 1 and be like, yes, I have Slimer. That would make me insanely happy. And of course, you got Lewis. You know what? Lewis probably fits in with your plasma series. So my guess is, let's see, the articulation on Lewis. Let me see here. I can't tell what we've got going on. Oh man, okay. No details yet. Should officially be revealed this week at NYCC. Okay, that looks like that's got to be 1/12 scale, I would think. But maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, I think I would be stoked. I'd get it and I'd be like, yes, I have Slimer. Because I'm sick in the head. I'm for sure getting this HasLab. Nice, Alex. Alex, are you somebody that really gets into all the Ghostbusters stuff? Just out of curiosity? Skew, tragic, fire, Ecto 1. Yep. Yeah, it does look awesome. And like I said, way back when I was discussing it and saying, man, I'd be really tempted. And it's still tempting, but I don't know. Is this the Ghostbusters 2 look? I don't know, Ray. I don't know Ghostbusters well enough to be able to answer that question. So hopefully other people got you in the chat. See, holy cow, that is awesome. Yeah, the thing is cool. 1/12 scale, tragic. I don't know. My gut is yes, but I'm not sure. Nothing has been totally confirmed yet. Like Paternia said, we should, and he put should in quotes, get all the details or at least get the official unveiling of this at New York Comic Con this weekend. Bobby Brown is a tier. I'll stop. Instead of, let's see, not give us a NES Advantage controller, just give us a good size Ecto 1 and I'll be happy. Just memories. You're going to be okay, Skew. I got to go back now and be like, wait, what was the Bobby Brown reference? What did I do this time? Tragic. Yeah, it is. Dang, my hand is shaking to grab my wallet. I'm mainly G.I. Joe, as you guys know, but that looks sick. Yeah, and you got to wonder if they're going to do the Ecto 1, are they going to do a 4-pack of those Ghostbusters? Like, how much of this, you know what? I did hear something that had to do with two different items that were going to go up for the Ghostbusters HasLab. What if what we're looking at in this picture right here is the Ecto 1 HasLab, and the other item is the set of Ghostbusters with like the librarian and all that stuff? Like right now, it's all speculation. We don't know anything, but it did sound like there were two different things that were going to go up as far as the Ghostbusters HasLab. So we might be looking at quite a bit here. Let's see. See, librarian looks dope. Slimer too. Slimer's the fave, man. I need like if if people like get this, I might be getting on eBay saying, "Okay, who's got a Slimer for me?" Sup, KJ? Thank you for stopping by. Much appreciated. Always. Don't worry, Skew. I got you. Let's see. Oh, this is the HasLab. I thought Jada. Derp. No, no. Don't worry, Tragic. You know what? I hear G.I. Joe does HasLabs as well. You might have a couple Rattlers coming. See. Oh, we're having too much fun here now. We found an Ecto 1. Nah, this is 1/18th. Oh man, that would be nice. That would be, I mean, well, not nice. It would be nicer if it were 1/12th. I don't know. I couldn't tell with Skull or with Lewis's with his articulation. We'll have to see. I'm hoping you're wrong, Ray. Let's see. Pretty sure it's 1/18th. That looks 1/12th. Oh dear. There will be no dissension. I don't even know why I say that. Let's see. The close up on Lewis shows his legs, and they seem similar to the ones on classified things. I was trying to see like that seam line, where they have where the upper leg connects to the thigh kind of area. We might go back and try that. They should have the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man as a tier. Very unlikely, but I'd go for it. Though I think it'd put it way above the 299. Yeah. The Stay Puft should be its own tier, like its own HasLab. Yes. All right. Cool, Alex. Thank you. I was just curious. Got to be 1/12. They already have the 1/18th for the O rings. That's true too. That's something that maybe I need to look at. We could look at the waist and see if we can see if that looks like it's no ring style waist too. Skew, if they do plasma, size it up a little. The tininess can be annoying with that line for other lines. Mezco. Finally, a bigger 1/12 Ecto 1. Make it right size. You could, if they make it the right size, you could get the Mezco Ghostbusters. From what I understand, those are pretty good figures if they don't make the Hasbro ones correct. Ghostbusters 2 outfits, Sliders, Lewis, or Slimer, Lewis Ecto 1, and Ghost Librarian sold. Okay, I didn't remember the darker outfits being Ghostbusters 2. Appreciate it, Sci Fi George. See, Ecto 1 and Ghostbusters 2 has an electric board. This one is from movie number 2. Okay, cool. I'm wondering if they've got it set up so that maybe it can convert between the two. Ghostbusters 2, he was in it, did the theme song, great memories. Bobby was jamming, not a diss. No, that's all right. I think of the Ray Parker song when it comes to Ghostbusters. I don't think of any other song. That's it. All right. If there's 1/12, I'm getting it. Let's see, Galactus size, Stay Puft Man. And it wouldn't have to have near the detail of Galactus either. You would have to have, like, maybe they do like a burnt marshmallow edition or something. Let's see, real talk. Been wanting one for a long time. 1/12 Ecto. Yep. Oh, I do. Oh, Rattlers. Do you think that hang on, let me see here. Do you think that the librarian ghost comes with an angry scream head? Man, I don't know. I would think so, but it's the whole thing too. Like it almost turns into a completely different ghost. So maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Might be 1/12, but if so, better not be medium plasma tinier. What would be nice, Skew, is if they did make all these a little bigger, made Lewis so he was a little bigger to match these, and then redid the Plasma series figures. Maybe not even redo them. Maybe just there's got to be a way in their program to upscale them. So at least they don't have to spend the time with the employees to sit there and totally redesign. Maybe they don't have to do that, but they just have to take the time to upscale them a little bit in the program they use. And then they'd still have to make new tools, but they wouldn't have to pay as much as they would for a brand new design. So maybe they can just upscale them a bit. We'll have to see what details get revealed for this thing. Marvel Legends and Joe Classified and Action Force, Monster Force will go with this. Awesome. That's true, Skew. And you can't be bringing that stuff up, man, because I'm going to need it. And I don't want to need it. Star Toy Habits has them showing at 1/8. I'm guessing 1/18th. That would be too bad. That would be a shame. Let's see. I don't know. I know some people who get figures from sliders. Well, you don't think well, yeah, okay. I caught Slimer though. Slimer is key. Yeah, I think a lot of people are hoping 112. And I'm wondering what'll happen if it doesn't go 112. See, 118th. Okay, Star. Okay. That's a shame. That's a real shame. That would have been cool at 112 for a lot of people, I think. How about a 112th articulated Statue of Liberty? Harry, for a 112th articulated Statue of Liberty, I want my Falcon first. But after that, you can have your 112 scale Statue of Liberty. That would be where she's just walking. You need that kind of slime, though, like that pinkish purple slime. If you get that, Mr. Matson, what a day! Finally on my way home. Sounds like it's been a long, crazy day for a bunch of us, guys. I believe we call this day Monday. But good to see you're on your way home, Mr. Matson. That's gotta be a good feeling after a long one. Skew, Ray Parker Jr. was awesome too. Love all the unreleased movie themes. Key and Peele. Ooh, I might need to look that up. I ain't afraid of no steroids. Oh dear. Things I need to see. Ray, really, it looks like 118th to me. Man, that would be a shame. But if it's 118th, it's 118th. There are plenty of people that would probably get it anyway. It would seem weird though, because they did do a 118th Ecto 1. It would seem strange to me that they would make another one and give it the HasLab moniker. I wonder if they're kind of testing because that's how the Vintage Collection versus Black Series works for Star Wars, or at least how they think it does. I think they've taken the wrong lesson from the Black Series debacles. Ray, I couldn't tell. I rang them up, and Toy Habits is showing them at 118th. Okay. Oh, ugh. See, if 118th, happy for those holding it down, but 112th would drive peeps crazy for this. And that's what I'm curious about. If it's 112th, I somehow think it would sell. And I don't know. I don't know. But there's not a lot of 118th Ghostbusters stuff besides the stuff that Hasbro recently released. Is there? Like those O ring figures? Help me out, guys. Is there a lot of 118th Ghostbusters stuff? Harry, with Jackie Wilson sound chip, it walks with a slime. Yep. It does need that sound chip. Like that was the part when I was younger. I was like, "Oh, this part's awesome." I was off. Benefits of working on a state contract. Ah, yeah. You suck. Dang it, John. Alex, if it's 118th scale, I can have Mandalorian drive it. Oh, that would be funny. Mando hanging out with Grogu and Slimer. Two little green buddies. The figure stand's base circles look too small of a circumference for 118th. Yeah, that could be. Huh. Skew 118th has one. Yeah, 112th would bring more attention for Ghostbusters. That's what I think. I just don't. They haven't released a lot of 118th stuff, but they also haven't released tons of 112 stuff. So who knows? I mean, but I think they've done more 112 than 118th. Facts. 112. Let's go. 118th. They can do after. Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, it looks cool. There's no doubt it looks cool. And I'm trying to see with all the details on it. Go back here. Let's see Lewis here again. That does look like a cut above that pocket, but I could be reaching too. And there's no articulation in the torso, which would lead you to believe closer to 118th because these figures, I don't know. Did the original Plasma series have articulation in the torso other than at the waist? Because I'm also not seeing any kind of, well, no, I'm not sure I'm seeing a bicep swivel there. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe there is a bicep swivel. Those are pretty good sized pins, though, in the mold. And that's something that they've been doing a lot is they've been going pinless with a lot of their lines, a lot of their 112 scale. I don't know, guys. This might be something like if Toy Habits is saying 118th, I think Toy Habits generally is on the ball. So if they're saying 118th, it's probably 118th. But I will say this looks like more of a bend at his arm than what you usually get with 118th, doesn't it? At least way back, it felt like 118th was almost always 90 degrees. But then there's no butterfly, or is there? I don't know, man. It is hard to tell. But imagine putting these guys in here and make being 112th. I mean, it would be huge. This would be one of the bigger vehicles in your collection for sure. Especially if you look at Ray and Winston's heads here. Like they're quite a bit spaced out apart. And I'm trying to tell the detail on Egon's face. It wouldn't surprise me if it were 118th. It would surprise me from a business perspective if it were 118th, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did it anyway, you know? Like it just seems to me from a business perspective, you'd want to go 112th, but they have those numbers that I don't have. So I don't know. I could be way off. Sci-Fi George, 118th. Oh man, I feel like Charlie Brown when his Christmas tree fell over. It is a crazy letdown when you think, oh my god, that thing's so awesome. I love the Ghostbusters theme, but now I can't listen to it without hearing I want a new drug from Huey Lewis and the News after all the attention of the lawsuit. That sucks. This is something that I am blissfully unaware of. I like being unaware of things that are, involving lawsuits and things. Figures remind of plasma. Come on, no whammies and no medium scale. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Stop. And I wanted to show you guys something with Cobra Commander. If 112th, it would be an 80-20. No go on 118th. My hands are too fat. My hands. I can't put the figures in the car. Yep. Yeah, I think like everybody, at least here, I think most of us would probably say no to it if we were on the fence, if it were 118. Whereas if it were 112, more of us would be likely to jump in. But that's obviously because that's the stuff I talk about. So you guys are more interested in the 112 scale. So I don't know that we're necessarily the right people to kind of gauge how well this will do. If it was 118th, the circles of the base would go beyond the figure's shoulders. Otherwise, it would tip over. I don't have any proof, but it looks 112th to me. We'll see. We'll see. It sounds like we're going to get everything we need to know at NYCC, but I got to say, I feel like, and again, we don't have the numbers. We don't have the what all's going on with the business and any studies they've done, but it feels to me, at least the way the collecting community seems to be moving, that if it's not 112th, it is going to be a massive disappointment. Plasma is tinier than 112 SHF, seems like. Why keep joking? It's a medium scale. I knew they were smaller than most of what Hasbro was doing at 112. So it would be nice if they upscaled them some. Unless, of course, they're just going 118th. Joy Toy peeps would enjoy it at 118th. Rest will skip. And I don't know that just because of the price of the Joy Toy stuff, I don't know that that many people are loading up on that. But I don't know. Egon looks much more like 112th than Lewis on second viewing. and I don't know enough about how well you can do things like as far as molding at certain scales and all that stuff either. Oh heck, that Ecto One has interior space. Oh yeah, it's got all kinds of space. That's why if it is 112, this thing's going to be massive. But it's probably seeing all the space that they have there makes me more probably likely to think 118th, but I hope not. I hope not for most of the people. That is, I do not disagree, Miss Cogsmith. It is cool that it's got all that space, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough to gauge when you're just looking at pics. I don't know. I haven't seen the Toy Habit site, but just looking at them looks 118th to me. I do hope I'm wrong and it's 112. If it is 112, I want a fully articulated points of articulation figure. Yeah. I mean, if it's 112th, I feel like they'd almost have to restart the Plasma series. Skew, I hope we kick the ball. Oh, Lucy. Goes to have no BS at 112 scale. I expect a lot. It seems to have quite a bit as far as lights are concerned anyway. I don't know what we're looking at as far as sounds because clearly they're not going with any of those things yet. But I don't think most HasLabs have sound, do they? I think you were right on the pin size. It might be 118th. The base of the stand is the only thing that makes me think of 112. Yeah, it's tough to be sure, but I mean, I think Toy Habits is pretty reputable. I think they know what they're doing for the most part. So my gut is we're looking at 118th. My thought with that though is I just don't understand the business reason why. Unless it's going to be yeah, I don't know. I don't get the business reason, honestly. But again, I don't have the numbers in front of me to say, you know what, we think a lot of 118th collectors will get this versus 112th. I just don't know. Look at the shoulders again. If there's no disc shape on the front, then there's a chance that maybe these could be larger. The 118th figs have definitive shapes on the front of the shoulders. All right, let's check this out. I think Lewis has been probably, well, Egon's not bad. You know, Egon does look like he's got a bicep cut there. And 118th generally doesn't, do they? Help me out just with that. 118th would be an easy no for me. Yeah, I think a lot of the people in the chat here are thinking the same. I can park the Secto 1 next to Razor Crest outside of my Cantina HasLab when it arrives. That would be a fun display, actually. And the Ecto 1, as far as I know, is still around. The Razor Crest, not so much. Although, rumor has it in the Mando and Grogu movie, Mando's getting another Razor Crest. So that would be kind of sweet, actually. Skew, they'll find out if they do 118th. Yeah, let me know about the 118th figures construction. I don't think they have the bicep swivel, but I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I really looked at them. Look at the back of Winston's neck. You can tell the way it comes up. It is 118th. Sad. Yeah, I don't see any kind of hinge there. But maybe it's just a ball joint with the old lollipop syndrome. See, making 118th scale Ecto 1 would be stupid enough for Hasbro to do. If they were smarter, they would have done movie 1 and the upgraded version from movie 2. You know what else, though, guys? They did say 2 of them. They said, I mean, the rumor is there's kind of 2 HasLabs here. What if one of them is 118th and the other is 112th? And I'm just throwing that out there because of that little rumor I heard ways back. A ways back. I think it was just a couple days ago. What if they're trying to do it in both scales? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me, but maybe they're trying to please everybody. Can we see the photo of the Egon fig in the car again? No disc. We've got it right here. It looks to me like there's a bicep cut, but those do look like pretty good sized. Well, maybe the pins don't look so big there. I don't know. Like, I'm not confident enough to call it one way or the other. Tragic. I saw Acid Rain from Joy Toy and I was ready to get it and found out it was 1/18th scale and saved my money. Then I invested in Mezco. Yeah, Acid Rain stuff, like Joy Toy does awesome stuff. What's the other? No, it was Acid Rain, wasn't it? Isn't Acid Rain different than Joy Toy? Or, I mean, if they're the same thing, then awesome. But yeah, those things are incredible. And if we were constantly getting 1/18th stuff of that quality in the States, I might change my tune a little bit. Not too much, but maybe just to grab a few. Yep, that G. Let's see. Classified and Legends are very popular. Let's not drop something that would get crossover sales. Oh boy. So much speculation. Perhaps both sizes are coming out. It wouldn't be the first time that's happened. That's, yep, Star, I think you're on to something. You might be. I mean, who knows? That could be the way. Maybe one of them, maybe the picture with Slimer and the ghost is the 1/12 scale and everything else. And maybe the Lewis, I, I don't know. I don't know. Star, I'm for it. Both 1/12 and 1/18. It would be awesome if that were the case. But again, if Toy Abbott's is saying 1/18th, I don't know, guys. That works. But I am, again, we've got this Egon pickup. I'm seeing a bicep cut. I just need to know about the construction of the 1/18th figures. I guess you know what I say that GI Joe had bicep cuts, didn't it? After the straight arm thing. If Hasbro makes it 1/18th HasLab, then you know Ace is going to make use of the momentum. Yep, that is very very true, Ghost Av. And then we learned how litigious Sony is. Yep. Skew, the 1/18th they did drop looked like 80s Joe. They've been joy toying like crazy if they are 1/18th. Yeah, and now that I think about it, didn't yeah, G.I. Joe had the bicep cut. Otherwise, they couldn't. That was the part of the Kung Fu grip, right? Is just having the bicep cut, basically. Egon has a butterfly shoulder. 1/18th is kind of small for that. That does look like that, doesn't it? Or is this just an overlay and there's regular plastic underneath it? But here's what I'm seeing. See this line here, guys? That looks to me like a bicep cut. And then the pins here, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And again, I can't, I'm, I feel like I don't know enough to call it. Do these, tell you what, look up the Plasma series. If anybody just has any lying around, look at them. Look at your Egon and see if this Egon looks like a repaint of that figure. Tragic. The 3 3/4 inch Joes had by. Yep, yep, yep. I was thinking as the more I started talking, the more I realized, you know what? That was the Kung Fu grip. Appreciate it, sir. Good Lord, my brain died a little bit there. Ghost have Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. To celebrate Ace getting busy if they whiff on 1/12th home run. Star Wars. Yeah, I should. Even singing poorly, I sing worse. Again, that was intentionally sung poorly. I heard third hand from a cousin's uncle's best friend's parrot that everything is 1/86 scale for only 650 USD. That would be, you know what? That would be small. Imagine trying to fit your Ghostbusters in that Ecto one. 1/18th Haya has both bicep and the butterfly. Maybe Hasbro picking up their 1/18th game. Oh, see, I didn't know that Haya had the butterfly too. Sadly. Let's see. Both would be, let's see, that would work. Yep. Ray. Also, usually for 112, they do an ab crunch or that mid chest cut. And that's something I noticed on Lewis. But then you look at Egon here, and he looks like that's an overlay, doesn't he? Like if we're looking at Egon, it looks like we're looking at an overlay piece of plastic because that does look like there's a cut there where it's underneath some kind of overlay. I just don't know. Stinking me not being able to make a call. Let's see, the Mando versus Grogu movie won't be a huge box office hit, but I can see a HasLab for the movie vehicles. I hope it's huge. I hope it's big. It's the best thing Star Wars has had going for it in quite a while. Or I shouldn't say the best. A lot of people really liked Andor and some of the other shows, but it is the most successful thing they've had going for it in quite a while. So hopefully that carries over to the big screen, but we'll see. I really hope Ace does. I'll gladly buy it. You know, Ace would totally do something and like make a kit. So he'd do like the white hearse and then make a kit where you could attach all the stuff. Acid Rain is Toy Alliance. Okay. Thank you, Ghost Tab. I was thinking they were separate companies, but I couldn't remember who made the Acid Rain. Rain, not to be messed up, but maybe a third party will make a soft good Ghostbusters ripoff. I mean, Mezco did the one. And I've heard the Mezco Ghostbusters. I think actually I was listening to one of Vala's, like the Valaverse channel, and he was saying that the Mezco Ghostbusters are really good. Star, the 1/18th scale figs all have bicep swivels. The color of the 1/18th scale figs are tan in color. These are not. But they could just be repaints. I don't know. Skew, no sour grapes. To quote Dr. Dre, I'll add it straight to my collection. Ramen, let's go. Obi-Wan Ace. Ace Obi? There's got to be something else I can say there. Our only hope, if this actually is 1/18th. Joy Toy does Dark Alliance, which looks really similar to Acid Rain. Okay. Got it, Ghost Tab. I appreciate it. Because, yeah, I've seen those, and I think they look amazing. I just, I'm like I said, I'm trying to focus, and going to another scale would be bad. Who are you gonna call? Ghost Taker, Awares. there's your new generic legal term, or to get around all the legalese. Oh my goodness. I think these are 1/12. The 1/18th figs have no butterfly. These do. Well, yeah, sometimes Hasbro goes and does more things for their HasLabs, though. I don't know. And I'm not in a position to sit here and be able to gauge it just because I don't have any of their 1/18th stuff. I wish I had some of their plasma series so I could look at it and say, this one looks a lot like this Egon, or this one doesn't look a lot like this Egon, Yeah. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now. Okay. 3 3/4 are Joe Ron Rudat-tastic. We do appreciate Ron Rudat in these parts. I have my His Tank Tactician all ready to play with this week. You guys know if you didn't, I've been spending my weekends at my place working on stuff for Toypixx, and I've been spending my days at Mom so I can help her business out at night. And so, like, except for the nights with the live streams, and during the day, I've got some figures that I bring from my place to mess with. This week, I brought my Joes. So I brought my His Tank Tactician because Ron Rudat, and because he's one of my Joes. Ghost Tab, I just watched the video review from Robo. Egon looks alike. Really? Now that's interesting. I like keeping it on Egon. He seems to have the closest, like, We don't have any kind of Lewis comparison, you know? Plasma, yes. If so, it would. I am curious about those plasma series. I skipped on them. I like Ghostbusters as a property. I was just never the guy to get a bunch of the stuff. I had some of the real Ghostbusters toys, but I don't think I completed the set, so to speak. Egon has the same shoulder cup for rotating points of articulation. I wonder if they intentionally show you just enough to make the speculation happen because they know it's a great marketing tool. Probably. Also, the 1/18 scale figs have a different elbow than these have. I think these are 1/12. Rejoice, my brethren. If they come with all the, oh man, guys. And then we've got the Musk coming out. Like, I would probably take the Musk over this just because of the Dio possibilities, but man, ugh. Sorry, in Big Lob voice, yes. It's been a while since I've seen the G.I. Joe movie. Although I think I have the Transformers movie on almost every day while I'm working just because I know it so well. Yep, this is going to be interesting. This might be the big, well, I don't know. You never know what's going to be awesome when it comes to what gets revealed at these cons. Sometimes something comes out that just surprises the crap out of everybody. This now we know is going to happen. But now all it is just waiting to find out what all the details are. And I hope for the vast majority of collectors out there, this is 1/12 scale. I just think, and again, I shouldn't say that. I don't have the numbers, but Hasbro has tried to make 1/18 work for them recently, and it hasn't seemed to take off for them, you know? That's why Super 7 is doing O-Ring Joes now instead of Hasbro. If Ecto 1 HasLab is successful, they could do the Extreme Ghostbuster Ecto 1 and theme. Oh, the Extreme Ghostbusters? All right. I guess I'll allow it. Stabby is near the ghost trap, Dave. Mr. Stabby would not approve of this entire conversation. I lock it up so that it's far away from the knife drawer before I do live streams with you people who sit there and try and make me spend money. 1/12 would make me a Ghostbuster collector. Ray? Yep, it's awesome stuff. I don't even know. I don't know what to say. Like I said before, I was in my head I would be tempted by an Ecto 1, and now that it's here, I until I get more details, I don't know because there's so much cool that's coming out. Yep. Well, right now, we've basically spent the whole time speculating, but we got through pretty much all the news. So, how about I'll call this at 9. So, that's 7 more minutes. Let's see what else we've got to say. Did anybody see anything else when it comes to action figures that I missed that you think are going to look fantastic in front of the camera? 30. Thank you for stopping in. I compared the upper arm. Looks 1/12. Awesome. Awesome. I hope so, man. I really hope so. I do. I do for the people. Even if it's not for, even if I don't get this. So what I wanted to show you guys, it was something kind of silly, but you never know who's maybe getting into action figure photography for the first time or watching this channel for the first time. And in case you are, I took a picture this morning of Cobra Commander holding up a big coffee cup. So let me see here. Let me get out of this, and if we're still chatting, we'll come back to it. Don't worry. Let me stop the screen. So I just wanted to show something real simple here. This is the Cobra Commander, still in the pose I had with the coffee cup, right? And I've talked about using putty to hold on to things, to make things work with photography. His hand is not going to hold this coffee cup. So I've got just this big blob of putty, and you can have sticky tack. Some people have talked about museum wax. You can use basically anything. It tends to just wipe right off the figure. So what I do with a shot like that is I just take a tiny little piece. I just tear a little piece of the putty off. And because it's me, I never want the Starbucks logo to show too much. I mean, it's going to show sometimes, but I always cover that with the putty. And then that's how Cobra Commander does things like holds these cups. And the only reason I'm showing that, I have a feeling most of you know this trick, but there's a possibility that people are watching this kind of thing for the first time and they're thinking, hey, maybe I should get into this photography thing. And to be honest, I didn't talk much about photography tonight. So here's a little trick you can use for your toy photography if you decide to go for it. It's just a little putty, put it on the cup, game on, you're good to go. And putty isn't crazy expensive either. You can generally get it for around, I think, depending on where you get it from, something like $3 to $5. And that gets you a big old blob of putty. Although the Ziploc bag is sold separately. So yeah, I did want to show people how to do that real quick before we totally got off the stream here. Now I'll call this back up and I'll head to the chat. See what you guys are saying now. What we got? Skew Raider, your Main Street Dio goes great with ghost takeaways. The Musk will too. I will now shut up. Stabby is eyeing me. Dude, we've all got a Mr. Stabby in our lives. And those wallets, I'm telling you, they get together at night and they plot our demise. They want us dead. Because really, we're slowly killing them. Mythic Legions 2.0 Skeleton 4-pack went up. I forgot about that, Harry. Good call. And those are the gray ones, correct? Ray Paz, nice. Thanks for the fun stream. Did you pick up Mafex or Mafex, Cap, and Daredevil? I have Cap. Daredevil is pre-ordered, so I did. You bet, Ray. And Ray, thank you for stopping by. I'm not sure I've seen your name on here before, but if I have, my apologies for forgetting. But I appreciate that you came in and chatted as much as you did. Hope to see you next time. We do this every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Flame Toys showed their Megatron Beast Wars Megatron. Oh, you know what? I think I saw a picture of that. I didn't know that was Flame Toys. Miss Cogsmith, Harry, oh. I don't know where I was going with that. You don't have to go. All right. Again, I should never sing. 30. Toy habits are often wrong on their MOTU stuff. Oh, are they 30? Okay. Okay. I appreciate hearing that just because now you know whether or not you should listen fully to some of these sources. Did anyone get the Mythic Legion Skeleton 4-pack? Ooh, the Mythic Legions. That's something else that frightens me. Because I know if I pick up one of those, oh dear. Yes, glorious coffee grinds. Cobra Commander likes his coffee. And he likes it with a lot of cream and sugar. It's weird. You wouldn't expect that. But he's definitely got to take off the mask. And if you guys are on X and you go and you find that, it was a picture I took for this morning. If you look in his mask, I didn't notice this till I posted this, but I hadn't showered or anything. I got up early. I had my hoodie on. I was getting things programmed. I took the picture of him. And you've got me in my hoodie sitting there taking the picture of Cobra Commander. I probably have an ultra serious face going too. I use blue tack. Stay away from Elmer's orange version. It's way too sticky for figs. And stick to name brands. The off stuff does not have enough hold. Awesome, Mr. Spencer. I appreciate that. Good tip. Miss Cogsmith, I did not know this, so I'm hyped for this tip. Sweet. It's pretty good stuff. The putty is kind of amazing. You can use the putty for, I've actually used, so I wanted to get a low shot where something was way up. And it was before I was really using my phone a lot for photos. So I actually used it was this big block of putty, put it under my camera lens so I could stand it up at the right angle. Like putty is amazing. You can use this stuff for pretty much everything when it comes to photography. I think Harry did. Ooh. Harry was talking about the skeletons. See, let's get through. Let's see. I'm searching daily for news about Edge Runners and the 52 Toys Alien Fig. Yep. It's an information desert out there, I say. So I cope with that by giving me, or I hope that with by giving in to Flame Toys, 30 SHF, etc. Got it. You cope with that by giving in to. Okay, okay. Sorry about that, guys. My brain, well, it's not working, it seems. And we have 9 o'clock, but don't worry, I'll get through these. Never assume we know. I'm surprised I make it home from work every day. No worries, Ghost Dev. And that is something. I want to make sure that any tip I can come up with, I can share it on here for you guys. I think that putty is how a lot of my current figures with lack of grip will hold their things. Dang, I don't know how I never thought of these little things. Miss Cogsmith, you were not the only one. Some of the stuff that the people in the chat come up with, I'm sitting here just going, why did I not think of that? But it's pretty amazing. It's one of the cool things about a chat like this is everybody gets to share their expertise. And I can use the help. I know how to take the pictures, but I don't know so much about all the background stuff of how we get things like effects and all that. Putty is necessary for custom sculpts, posing. Do get and keep some facts, Dave. Yep. Thank you, Skew Raider. That's probably one of the most important things you can get for toy photography. Because a lot of times the hands just aren't going to do it. Financial distribution is a wonderful way to get new toy lines off your mind. Sort of. Because, 30 Flame Toys, SHF, at least you're choosing cheap lines. It's not like you're going McFarlane and Legends, which have so many figures that if you become a completionist, you're actually spending way more money on those than you are the more pricey figures in the more pricey lines, I suppose. So basically, I just totally double spoke. Not for you, though. Is that what you're alluding to, Star? Poor Star. Let's see. Keep that in mind. Yep. That was a great tip, John. Ghost Tab Cobra Commander could drink coffee in his hood mask figure, but I don't think Hasbro is going to do that figure anytime soon. He also, if anybody has the Once a Man Cobra Commander, you could do that. Like I almost did the whole joke about, okay, everybody's going to drink his coffee now, look away. But I didn't do that. And I don't have the Once a Man Cobra Commander. But remember in the cartoon, Destro didn't even want to look at him. He was like, oh, God. And now we know why. He doesn't need to take off his mask. He's got a way to open it and drink with a straw. Happened in an early issue of the Marvel Comics when he was captured. Awesome. Okay, but I see this Cobra Commander and I see animation. So I kind of want them to do the Comic Colors version. Like I know they're basically the same design, but I do want to see the Comic Colors. I think that would be pretty cool. Cobra Commander and Lord Helmet have burble through the Helmet's coffee meetings daily to plot ludicrous speed heists. Lord Helmet, oh dear. Cobra Commander and Rick just talking, just hanging out. Lewis. The specter of new SHF Star Wars figs that I can't lock down haunts me, always laughing, taunting me, always. Did you try Kurama Star? I mean, we did go through that, but this stuff's pricey too. So you kind of are like, okay, how do I triage what I'm going to buy? Oof, I got to head to work at 9 p.m. doing an overnight shift yet again. Oh, Miss Cogsmith, I'm sorry to hear that, but hopefully you're not doing that all the time. So enjoy work as much as you can. Some people really dig work. Hopefully you're one of them, especially with the night shift. Another awesome stream. Take care, y'all. Skew Raider, take care, man. Thank you for stopping by. And Star, I am financial destitution. Okay, kids, watch Star. This is what not to do in life. I've been there, Star. I'm still there in some ways. Don't worry about it. And with that, everybody, I very much appreciate you guys stopping by, hanging out, saying hola, just chitting and chatting. And I kind of can't wait till this weekend so we all find out what the details are on that HasLab Ecto 1 because, oh, Mr. Stabby is an angry wallet. Hopefully your wallets are less angry than mine. Mine has murder on his mind. But with that, thanks again for stopping by. Take care, have fun, and happy snapping. I'll catch you next time. See ya. And now's the